Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the May 4th, 2019 new moon in Taurus. Now, a new moon in astrology can bring much initiative and enterprise. It could be an opportune time for discarding what is frivolous and superfluous, and whatever may have prohibited you, held you back. Previously can now be discarded, or at least has a better opportunity to. And also too, you may have an abundance and surfeit of energy at this time. Now, being in Taurus, perhaps much latent energy, and energy that has a lot of endurance in it. It's really something too you got to look at, though, is that you got to look for contraindicators in this, because this could modify this impact on you as far as the new moon goes. Now, let's say, for example, if you have transit Neptune making an adverse aspect to your natal Sun, Mars, or Ascendant, or even transit Sun or Mars in the 12th house at this time of this new moon energy, well, your energy level may not be as prodigious. You might be a little bit more lethargic, and maybe it's more about fantasizing as opposed to actually taking action, because when you have those kind of transits can have an impact on the delineation. And a lot of this too, looking at this, it could also be an opportune time for embarking on a new project or endeavor. It could be a time also, when you look at this, where procrastination and hesitation may come to an end. It could also be an exceptionally revitalizing and rejuvenating time. It could also manifest in very extemporaneous and spontaneous energy. Now, also too, new projects may be initiated with a lot of persistence, patience, and perseverance, being that this is in Taurus, and also a very methodical and deliberate manner. It could be after much pondering now, and also done with very strong powers of concentration. Now, the new moon may collectively impact everybody, but especially people with the Sun, Moon, Ascendant in Taurus, or Cancer in Taurus, of course, because it's going to be in their sign, and Cancer simply because they are impacted strongly by all phases and transits of the moon. This could be very strongly attributed as to why the zodiac sign Cancer can be very fickle, moody, and temperamental and changeable, and especially if this is making a conjunction to one's Taurus or Cancer Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. This energy could be very intensified in that instance. Now, also too, this could be a time where you could be the start of a Taurus-like money-making endeavor, and especially if this transit falls in the 2nd, 6th, or 10th house in one's natal chart. This could be the start of some work as a stockbroker, financial advisor, pawnbroker, even just doing some general mundane work. It could be construction work, starting a position as in architecture, agriculture, even accounting. Now, could also simply just be the beginning of stability and peace in one's life. Could also be about the start of something connected with a lot of persistence and patience, and also trustworthiness. It could be a time too where it might just simply be a new period for financial stability. And also to keep in mind that this could also be, in some cases, this could be about a new Taurus, could be a new Taurus physical issue. Now, especially if this falls in the 1st or 6th house in one's natal chart, it could be something connected with the throat, the neck, or the vocal cords, for example. It could also, now let's say if it falls in the 8th house, and going back to, this falls, like say, in one's 6th house in one's natal chart, especially let's say if it makes an inconjunct aspect to the ascendant in the chart, because that could often be about health related issues. Now, let's say this falls in the 8th house too. This could be something where it could be something connected with surgery on something with the throat or the neck, or something with the vocal cords, and especially again if it makes an inconjunct aspect to the ascendant. Now, it's also important to look at the house this falls in one's natal chart. This could, because that could impact the delineation and interpretation. Mine is going to fall in the 12th house. Now, of course, this could manifest in a multitude of ways. It could simply be the start of something peaceful, something connected, start of tranquility and stability. In my private life, it could be the start of a money-making metaphysical endeavor, which includes astrology. Now, also, look at the aspects this makes, as this could impact the delineation and interpretation as well. Now, this transit is going to conjunct my natal Saturn. This could indicate something that might require a very laborious, persistent effort. It could be career related. Keep in mind that Saturn is also one of my 10th house rulers. Now, at the same time, it's also going to square my natal Venus in Leo in the 4th house. This my natal 4th house Venus in Leo. So this might conflict a little bit with perhaps extroversion and entertainment from the home, such as doing the astrology videos. Now, also to keep in mind, as far as Sabian symbols go, the new moon is going to fall at 14 degrees Taurus. Now, as far as Sabian symbols go, this may suggest that what a person may embark on connected with this transit may be something that does require a lot of industry, a lot of laborious effort, and it could be done perhaps in solitude and seclusion without extraneous things diverting him or her. Now, also too, given at the 14th degree, this could also be exceptionally auspicious for love and romance. Now, also at this time, aspects that this makes selectionally can be important at this time as well. Now, the new moon in Taurus is going to sextile Neptune in Pisces. Now, at this time, this could be very propitious, perhaps to start something artistic with strong imagination. Now, Neptune Pisces energy can be associated with filmography, so it could indicate starting something where art and animation may very well blend in well together. Now, also, too, it's important to look at the other transits at this time, as they could be intensified given this is taking place at the time of the new moon. Now, there's going to be a long mutable T-square configuration that consists of an opposition between Mars in Gemini and Jupiter in Sagittarius, both being squared by the focal point Neptune in Pisces. Now, mutable T-squares in astrology can bring about much restlessness, vacillation, anxiety, worry, and nervousness and given also too, on a positive note though, it could also bring about a lot of pliability and adaptability. Now, one thing is with Mars in Gemini and Jupiter in Sagittarius, this could, having this opposition, this could manifest in a lot of mental activity and restlessness, opposing exuberance, enthusiasm in sports, which could be more outdoorsy. Now, with Neptune being at the focal point, perhaps the issue can be resolved, could be through hypothetical, imaginary sports matchups, such as going to whatifsports.com, and also because this way you can satisfy the mental agility around with the sports and the physical restlessness, perhaps. That's one way that this could manifest. And really, too, this could also be about, in a lot of cases too, you have Mars and you have the Gemini and Sagittarius opposition. I mean, Mars and Gemini energy could be about a lot of energy wanting to be more about prevarication and wanting to say what others would want to hear, as opposed to actually being veracious and speaking the veritable truth, which is Sagittarius energy. Now, in some cases, having this Neptune at the focal point, that point of that overcompensation, overemphasis, this could drive maybe others figuratively crazy, so to speak, and might resort to escapist tactics at this point. So it's important to be careful as far as that goes. So anyway, it's also at this time, it's important to look at the transits Other transits to your natal chart at the time of this full moon, time of this new moon, is they could be intensified due to the fact that it's taking place at the time of the new moon. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, at this time, transit North Node in Cancer is going to make a conjunction to my natal Mars in Cancer. Now, transits involving the North Node may be connected with issues that one has to confront. Now, for me, this could be about having to confront an issue, perhaps regarding being more assertive in home-related matters. It's going to be in my third house. So this could be connected perhaps with a short journey, a local transportation issue that is associated with my home life. And it's also going to make a sextile to my Taurus ascendant, so it could indicate I have enough latent energy and vitality to physically handle this. And having the new moon in Taurus as well definitely will be beneficial to this, considering it's in the same sign as my ascendant and not far from my ascendant at the time. So anyway, also too, what I noticed on this day, that there's going to be, interestingly, if there's going to be some kind of e-waste shredding event that's going to take place in San Juan Capistrano, California. And at this time, people are welcome to bring in these electronic possessions that serve no purpose to them, and that they can be discarded. Now, interestingly enough, the new moon can often manifest in discarding what serves no purpose to us anymore. Taurus, of course, is about possessions. The new moon will make a very long conjunction, if you will, to Uranus, which of course is associated with electronics. People may discard and throw away what's now obsolete, replace a VCR, for example, with, like, say, a DVD player, recorder. And another thing too is, when you look at this as well, this energy, you're talking about a new moon in Taurus. I think a lot of people too will find themselves perhaps formulating new money-making ideas and endeavors at this time. I saw something else, interestingly enough, that's going to happen at the time of this full moon on May 4, 2019. I saw something online which was about, basically, it's something connected with the title is something like the future of money, or do you know the future of money, something like that. And what it was talking about, it was something about the value of instability, or something about removing the value instability issue. I should say, quote, removing the value instability issues and inconsistent transaction speed that has stopped the growth of cryptocurrencies, and really, as far as the real world transaction. So the thing about this is, what's interesting about that is that you're talking about the title of this alone, the future. Do you really know the future of money? Of course, new moon in Taurus, Taurus is about money, and not far away is Uranus at this time, and Uranus is, of course, connected with the future. So, and then in this, they're talking about, do you know about something that's being, as far as this goes, when going back to this again, the value, removing the value instability issues, and inconsistent transaction speed that has stopped the growth of cryptocurrency. Now, of course, they want it to be more stable. Of course, stable energy is, of course, connected with Taurus energy, and they're talking about the value instability issues. Value, of course, again, is associated with Taurus. I thought that was very interesting. And they're talking about something that's inhibiting or stopping the growth of cryptocurrency. So the thing about this is, people, is that when you're talking about new moon and astrology energy, is that we're discarding what is actually inhibiting, often what is actually stopping us from getting to whatever, and what's inhibiting us, what's prohibiting us. And anyway, I think again a lot of that is because of this new moon in Taurus energy. And again, let me read that again one more time. There's going to be, this is taking place in Thailand, I believe, by the way. It's something about the title of this seminar is, quote, "Do you know the future of money?" End quote. And again, takes place on May 4, 2019. And it is, quote, about, quote, removing the value instability issues and inconsistent transaction speed that has stopped the growth of cryptocurrencies and in the real world transactions. So this is a lot of, you could see that's a lot of Taurus energy, new moon and Taurus energy right in that statement right there, and in the title of that seminar as well. So anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my take on the May 4th, 2019 new moon in Taurus. And stay tuned next time, where I'm going to be talking about the 2019-2020 Black Moon Lilith in Pisces transit. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.